Watching myself on screen while editing my debut video was interesting, to say the least. But before I share the biggest surprises with you, let me walk you through the whole process, from setup through filming to editing. Hi, I'm Anya and welcome to my channel, Over 50 Under Construction, or welcome back if you saw my first video. First, the setup. This is my setup for the video in the kitchen. As you can see, it's not so close to where I sit, and the light is from the window that is about a meter away, and it's not coming in directly. It's very simple. I used my iPhone 12, the front camera, against the advice of some experts out there. I consulted AI on that subject and it told me that it's perfectly fine and much safer for new creators to see themselves on the screen, to monitor the facial expressions and the head movements and all these other things that are tricky when you're starting. I went for the easy option. The tripod is very simple, for probably $20 or something like that. And I used a Rode mic in my first video with a cable. Yesterday, I upgraded to a wireless microphone, which is very fancy. It sits here, hiding, so you can't see it. It's a Spanish brand. I can't say if it's good or not yet, but we'll see. That's the improvement from the last video to this one. I'm sitting a bit further away from the phone, which I think gives a little bit of a better frame. In the first, I was quite close to the camera. That's the technical part. Then the makeup. I used a foundation, nothing fancy, a little bit of blush, mascara, and a transparent lipstick, so my lips don't look too pale. That's about it. The clothes, that's what I wear every day, and this is what I feel the most comfortable with. A hoodie, a t-shirt. It's a bit cooler, even in Spain at this time of the year, so a hoodie is needed. As you can see, the light is pretty good. The sun is still quite high and it's not shining yet into the room, which is good because otherwise it would be quite blinding, but it gives enough light. That's the boring details. Now the surprises. You might be wondering what was the biggest one. The first big surprise was that I didn't hate it. I mean, the way I looked on camera. The other one that I completely haven't thought about was how much I was moving my head. When I looked at the video, it was like this. I thought, oh, man, I'm moving my head a lot. Now you might see that I'm consciously making an effort not to move my head. Usually I'm talking with my hands and I talk on camera the same like I talk in real life. And I'm a rather energetic person, so talking like this is a bit of a challenge, but I realized that it is quite disturbing to have somebody's head in the screen moving all the time like this. When I was small, I used to have this little dachshund, kind of a mascot that my dad had in the car. It was about this size and it had a head that moved as the car was moving, and the head was going like this. And I thought about that as well. Anyway, that was a bit of a funny part. The other one was the speed I was talking. I usually talk quite fast and it happens that I talk a lot. This video was quite slow and I was drawing out the words, maybe not like that, maybe that's a little bit exaggerated, but it wasn't my normal speed. I think one of the reasons is that I was thinking about what I was saying, and in order to avoid too many ums and ums, I used the time and the gaps to think. But for a video, it is a bit too slow. Today, I'm making an effort to speak a little bit faster. And I know it gets better after a couple of minutes, because the first maybe 5-7 minutes, I was more tense than in the rest of the video. That was the observation of my partner. Now the editing. I used Descript because my partner uses it for his work. I help him sometimes to edit his videos, and I was a bit familiar with the editing. I wasn't a complete newbie, but still there are a lot of features in that software that I don't know yet. And I had to either ask him or AI or use Google to figure out how, for example, to add music and how to remove those gaps between words, which were very frequent. Until I figured it out how to do it, it took quite a bit of time. So the editing process was much longer than I thought. The whole video I actually shot the first time. I mean, I didn't have a few attempts. I had to chop it a little bit because I was looking at my notes like that, coughing and having a sip of water. So that needed to be fixed. Then there was another surprise. Once I edited and exported the video, ready to be uploaded on YouTube, I realized my skin was absolutely orange. My eyes were unnaturally blue. What you see, it's also an enhanced version, because unfortunately Descript applies that as a default and you have to correct it manually, which I did on my first video. My eyes are blue, but the color depends very much on the light. Sometimes they look turquoise, sometimes they look blue, but what Descript produced was absolutely nuts. It wasn't like me. I looked like 20 years old with perfect skin and super blue eyes. I didn't like that. I thought, oh no, I don't want to come across like somebody who is fake and pretending. It took me quite a bit again to figure out how to change the settings. I changed the temperature of the video and I changed the saturation, so it's a bit cooler and it's less intense. Maybe DaVinci Resolve, which a lot of creators recommend, has different features and maybe it's easier. I'm going to check it out actually and see. But I wanted to shoot that video, edit it, add the music and have it ready for publishing. That was the easiest way for me to just use the software I know a little bit, at least. By the way, the two channels that I watched and helped me a lot regarding general advice, regarding titles, thumbnails, filming and all that, was Rob the Maritimer, a very nice guy from Nova Scotia and Canada. The other channel is Live Video School. They also give a lot of free advice regarding thumbnails and titles and all that. It's really worth watching. Creators who are much more experienced than we are, the newbies who are starting. To sum up the editing of my very first video, it was much more time consuming than I assumed, and there were a few tricky bits. If you're a new content creator and you are starting the journey, give yourself enough time for that process, because it's not so straightforward, in particular if you're not that familiar with a new software. Nevertheless, it was all worth it. I was very happy in the end and very satisfied that I completed the task. That was a really big challenge for me because, as I said in my first video, I very often quit before I start. Recording the video, editing it, scheduling it for a certain time to be published was a big achievement for me. If you're thinking about starting a channel like I have, and if you're overthinking and wondering, oh, should I do it, should I not do it, I'd say after my very first experience, just do it. It's actually less scary and less challenging than I thought. Once you recorded one and edited one, I believe that the next will be much easier. There'll be probably other challenges and things that you'll notice, but it's a learning process. So just do it. Don't hesitate, because as Vicky from My Retired Path said, she lost 1 year because of her friends putting her off, because of overthinking, and she regretted it. So go out and do it. I know I'm talking as if I was experienced and out there for a long time, but I'd just like to encourage people like myself to do it and not be scared of it. That's the whole point of shooting those videos. If you liked my content, subscribe and watch out for my next video about my lifelong quest for freedom. Thank you for watching and see you again.